you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The people's voice. Make your voice count.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here's to VOPTV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOPTV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOPTV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
VOPTV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People television. Stay with us.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here's to VOPTV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
My name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOPTV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers.
Hello there and welcome on board. It is People's Voice on VOB TV, where of course our first season story shaped the narrative, and today we're dissecting the major story that is dominating the headlines. Of course, back in conversation across the nation. Yesterday was actually a bombshell, and I believe you know what that means, okay? I'm talking about across social media, everywhere something really happened, and simultaneously, to be precise. PDP in total crisis, Fubara and Adeleke out. What happens now? This was quite a very serious shock that we can't stop talking about it. And some of us gave the predictions, right? And today it is coming to play. And sincerely, I've given how many predictions? Okay, I started giving predictions 2 weeks ago, and last week, I amplified it, and this week it's already happening. That's why I'm smiling this hard, because I will still make some predictions today. So I think you should be fastening your seatbelt to get set for this particular wonderful conversation today. To join the conversation with experts in sciences and perspective, of course, I would like you to share your thoughts with us. I am Savior Udom. Let's look into other news stories with details. Senate summons aviation minister over domestic airfare hike. Of course, I talked about this last week, and I'm happy that they're actually, taking this up. It shows that they are listening and they're watching the show, okay? The Nigerian Senate has actually summoned Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo to an urgent meeting over the sharp rise in domestic airfares. The Senate noted that prices have increased by 150 on some routes, crossing over 300,000. The meeting aims to address the issue and propose measures to stabilize price ahead of the holiday season. Keyamo and, of course, our airline operators and regulators have been directed to appear before relevant committees. I'm sincerely grateful and I'm happy. And please, Senate, if you really want to make us finally happy, we want you to see this to the very end. It is really, really unfair on us for us to be paying 339, 340, 350 for just one-way tickets, not even a round trip. No, please. And sincerely, let us try as much as possible to make sure that we hold these people, until they bring down that particular price. We shouldn't be having that. We know road is very expensive. In short, I was talking to a colleague of mine yesterday. I said road trip now is more expensive than airfare. He laughed, but he understood me, because if you say you want to do a road trip, either you want to drive yourself or you want to take the public transport. What is the guarantee of your security? Are you sure you're safe? What if, the question is just, what if you're kidnapped? You have ransom money. So that's the question. So that's the reason why so many people are actually running to the aviation system, running to take airfare now. And all of a sudden, in this volatile season, we'll start paying 400,000 for airfare to where? Going to the south and the east? It's really, really unfair. So I would want the Senate, to do, more job as regards to this until the Ministry of Aviation brings down this price. It was really fine when we were, managing our 25,000 before it got to 50,000. When it got to 80, 100, we complained, but of course we're still managing. And now we are trying to manage 150, and you're giving us 300,000, 350, 400,000. For what? Please. They have to bring that particular one down. They have to. This is affecting everybody now. They have to. All right. And away from that particular one, Tinubu urges youth to dream big, embrace innovation. The president has actually called on the youth to pursue their dreams with courage and resilience, assuring that the federal government will support innovative endeavors. He emphasized that the creativity and innovation will give youth a competitive advantage in the fast-changing world driven by digital and emerging technologies. The president made this call at the unveiling of the Nigerian Youth Academic Platform and, of course, Grant Awards ceremony in Abuja. The youth have been doing all of that, and sincerely, I must actually say thank you so much, Mr. President, for calling on this particular one. And of course, if at all the youth wants to do anything on social media, let it be legit, let it be something clean, and not indulge themselves in a cyber fraud and all of that, And I am also grateful to the president for trusting, the youth to do something better instead of actually calling them lazy Nigerian youth. And I believe you understand what that means. So we would actually appreciate our president for that particular one. And of course, still in the youth quarters here, Northern Youth praises Army Chief for boosting anti-banditry efforts. Okay, the socio-cultural organization, the Northern Ethnic Youth Group Assembly, has commended the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Shaibu Waid, for its leadership in strengthening counter-banditry operation across the north. The group noted that security response have improved significantly since Waid assumed office, citing recent military breakthroughs, including the rescue of 100 schoolgirls and other abducted civilians. They urged the federal government to continue supporting the army and provide increased resources to sustain momentum. Okay, of course, that's actually a laudable one there. And we want more. We just want a situation where Nigeria can be safe again for everybody, and Nigerians can actually feel safe in their own country. That's all we're saying here. All right, talking about the PDP situation here, PDP slams Fubara's defection as pitiful. The People's Democratic Party has described Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara's defection to All Progressive Congress as pitiful. The PDP said Fubara's troubles are self-inflicted and that he willingly took the path that led to his current predicament. The party also warned that Nigeria's democracy is under danger due to ruling party pushing towards a one-party system. Okay, so I understand where PDP is coming in from as regards to that particular, statement. But I would also have to direct this one to you. I understand that so many people are rushing down to the APC, the ruling party now. But we also want you to put your house in order. How many more do you want to actually, lose? How many more do you want to leave your party before you do what is right? Instead of always granting a media parley, granting press conferences, just to mention that, oh, you've actually expelled some members, put up their pictures. These are the faces of people that have actually faced expulsion from the party and all of that. Who wanted to fix the party? Otherwise, you would still have more governors out of the 8 remaining that would leave. Okay, so you just have to do what is right. That's all we're saying here. You just have to do what is right. All right, and away from that particular, Musa comments troop for falling Benin coup attempt. Nigeria's Minister of Defense, Christopher, has praised the armed forces for their swift response to the attempted coup in Benin Republic. The military prompt action helped towards the plot, and Musa commended their professionalism and readiness to respond to threats. He emphasized the importance of joint operation and cooperation among security services to protect Nigeria and its allies. Should we actually say something as regards to this? Why don't we also, move in this fast when it comes to our Nigerian security? This has been the question that Nigerians have been asking, and we demand answers, okay? We need help. We are not saying we can't help our allies, we can help other African countries, but we need help. Nigeria needs help. Can we fix our own nation first? Before saying that we're fixing other people. Before saying that you want to go help other people. So we're helping other people to actually, to stabilize their security system and the situation and all of that. But Nigeria needs even more help. And our troops are not allowed to do their job. Because some people are still, foiling this whole situation by giving bandits money to increase the insecurity in the nation. So we need help. Nigerians deserve help. But on a lighter note, when I saw this particular, picture that is on the screen right now, as regards to these military officers saying that they've taken over, I don't understand where you said in the history that we've ever, read. You said you're taking over Cuba and you went to a TV station to hold them to ransom to say, you have to keep broadcasting this particular one that we've taken over. Yet you didn't go to government house, you didn't go anywhere, you didn't go to any of the service ships, and instead you were actually, you went to a TV station. Well, of course, that was on a lighter note actually, but thank you to our Nigerian military, personnel that actually, went in fast and, savaged the situation. Of course, it would have been very worse if our Nigerian army didn't actually, move fast into that particular one there. All right, away from that particular one, Kwara reps proposes bill to create new local government areas for better governance. A member of the House of Representatives, Rahim Ajulokmi, has proposed a bill to create additional local government areas in Kwara State. The move aimed to deepen grassroots governance and strengthen national security. Adeleke believes the new local government would provide faster and more effective service delivery, improving security response at the grassroots. The bill is part of its effort to bring government closer to the people and enhance development across communities in the states. You know, the fact that some of these lawmakers still want either more local government or more states, and yes, the one they have, they've not been able to protect it properly. They've not been able to take care of them. You know, they've not been able to, stabilize the economy. That's one of the most laughable situation that whenever I get to read news like this, it's always very funny to me. All they are just, clamoring for either new states creation or they talk about new local government creation instead of talking about how their people will be fine. But what more can I say? Let's go to this particular man now who's been making news for over 2 weeks now. EFCC detains ex-AGF Malami over Abacha loot. Other allegations were precise. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has detained former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, SAN, for failing to meet bail conditions. Malami is being investigated for money laundering, abuse of office, and terrorism financing, including the operation of suspicious accounts and whereabouts of recovered Abacha loot. The EFCC had asked Malami to appear daily for interrogation, and he remains in custody until he fulfills the requirement. Malami has denied the allegation, calling them fabricated. Okay, fabricated or not, we will get to know in the coming days. To join the conversation, kindly call the number 09044732605, 09044732605. Follow us on social media at VOPTV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOPTV, and of course, on YouTube, we are Voice of the People. It's time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we would be talking about this conversation that I know that we all have been waiting for. PDP in total crisis. Fubara and Adeleke out. What happens now? Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned, please. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the program. It is the People's Voice on VOPTV. The People's Democratic Party is actually facing so much as we speak. The PDP is facing different crises, okay? And you'll agree with me that the situation has actually, instead of dying down, instead of, some men, handling the situation well, but of course, it's been getting out of hand. And presently, another one happened yesterday, where Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Ademola Adeleke defected to the APC and, of course, Accord, respectively. Fubara joined the APC, citing the party's failure to protect him during the recent political crisis in Rivers State. He also expressed support for President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid in 2027. The PDP described Fubara's exit as a self-inflicted injury and, of course, accused the APC of working towards a one-party state. Adeleke joined the Accord Party, stating that the party's mission aligns with its focus on citizens' welfare. He planned to seek re-election on the Accord's political party platform in 2026. The PDP warned that Nigeria's democracy is under threat, accusing the APC of shrinking the political space and pushing for one-party system. PDP National Publicity Secretary Ine Imamobong expressed pity for Fubara, suggesting he might be suffering from a Stockholm syndrome. The defection sparked concerns about Nigeria's democratic stability and the potential for one-on-one party system. The APC's growing influence in the South-South region has raised eyebrows, with some people actually describing the situation, as a one-party drift. PDP leadership crisis is actually, becoming so serious now, and it's getting worse on a daily basis. We're now being joined by Mr. Elvis Elimihele, a journalist, political and public affairs analyst, a member of the Guard of Public Affairs Analysts of Nigeria. You're welcome on board, sir.
Good afternoon, Savior. How's your day?
My day is really, really fine. Of course, it's the Yuletide season, and we are so excited about it.
Compliments of the season, even if it's not so much on air, but we are glad that God has spared our life today.
No, I understand. I understand that situation. I know where you're coming from. When you say Christmas is not really in the air, it's about the financial part of it.
Oh yes.
Okay, because it's when you have money. That's when you say you want to do Christmas. Okay, but don't worry, sir. Sooner or later, God will do it. Let's be positive.
Always.
Let's be positive. I was so excited that this situation happened, last night, because I know that our Wednesdays is always you and I. And the last time we had a discussion here, we first, took up PDP's conversation for a while before going to the main conversation. But now, here we are. So it will be nice for us to go into it today.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
So, Mr. Elvis, I gave all of these predictions last week, and I told you, I said, sir, that Fubara is being given this body language by the State Assembly because it's taking its time. Otherwise, I don't think the Speaker of House of Assembly would have called Fubara out via newspapers, through the media, instead of taking up his phone and calling to say, oh, I feel you are abandoning some schools or you're not looking into some public schools. What are you doing about it? Instead, they called him out, through social media, through broadcasting out, through printing press. And I told you then, I said there is a serious issue going on the tone. And there is no peace in Rivers State. It is now Fubara will see peace in Rivers State. And I told you that in the coming days, Fubara would leave.
Yeah.
I said it. And today, this is happening. And I also mentioned to you that I doubt if Adeleke would go to APC. And today, Adeleke has moved to Accord. And I love the fact that they now use the particular word. They said that we are acting accordingly. When you join Accord party, you act accordingly. So, this is the defection in Nigeria now. And of course, we know that either ways, there will be an impact of defection. What are your thoughts on the of this defection, on Governor Fubara and Adeleke from the PDP? And of course, how will this affect the party's prospects in 2027 general election?
Well, we saw it coming, even though we didn't know exact time it's going to come, it's going to land. We already knew that Adeleke, Fubara was given some condition before he was brought back after the emergency rule.
Yeah.
And one of the conditions that we heard was that he was going to defect from PDP to APC. Defection from PDP to APC now is no longer news in Nigeria. It's no longer news, Savio, honestly. And for anybody to even say Fubara defected from PDP to APC, Fubara was just like a sacred cow in PDP. PDP never helped his situation. When he was actually in crisis with his godfather, we didn't really see PDP coming up and actually playing a role as a political party. That was even one of the reasons why I was not really too happy with PDP, because PDP as it is more than a one-man party. It's the only party in Nigeria that had that national outlook. Forget about it. Look at the scale of defection now in PDP. You are seeing governors from all over Nigeria defecting. That means PDP actually had a ground. PDP was actually grounded, as in this is a true national party before it got into this crisis and that almost erased it out of taking it out of radar now. But this crisis, Savior, was also caused by them. When there are no truth, when the leaders refuse to speak the truth, the leaders are not sincere to themselves, things of this nature happen.
Who are the leaders? Who are the ones that didn't say the truth?
The leadership of PDP never spoke the truth to themselves. When Jonathan, before the Jonathan selection,
okay,
before President Jonathan selection,
okay,
Jonathan did that 4 years, and he completed his boss 2 years.
Yeah.
He did another 4 years. Immediately after that 4 years of Jonathan, 2011 to 2015, PDP should have been able to speak the truth to themselves. Forget about that Jonathan was the sitting president, an incumbent. As a party, you own the machineries of that, the working machineries of that party. That's supposed to tell Jonathan, come, by our constitution, let this zoning go back to let's get another person, even if it's going to be from the south, not you any longer. But the PDP thought that an incumbent will do better because of the history we have always had. Incumbent don't lose election.
My question was, did Atiku support him?
Whether he supported.
Did he support Jonathan as at the time?
No. That Atiku never supported. Now
that's what I was. You know why I was
supported. Atiku went to support APC.
No, do you know why I was? Do you know why I was towing that way? I was towing that way because I remember last week we did head to head as regards to this conversation, and you were saying, "Oh, all the problems of PDP is wiki," and I'm telling you, like, I love the fact that you are backdating now. Yeah. We are giving a build-up story.
Yeah.
So why can't we just mention this for a fact that if only Atiku was patient enough as another statesman to support Jonathan, let him finish that particular tenure, he would have entered seamlessly.
That's why I'm telling you that the truth ought to have come from the leadership of PDP.
But you have been joining them to say Wike has been the problem.
I'm coming to Wike. No. Wike went above board. It was too much. At least, even if.
But you are mentioning the build-up now.
No, the build-up. Yeah, it's not as if that the ticket should have been given to Wike. Wike said it was supposed to come to the south.
Yes.
That is in 2023.
Of course. No, that's what I'm saying.
We're talking about 2020.
What I'm trying to mention to you now is that at the likes of Atiku, who also caused that same issue of 2023 or 2022/2023, has caused a bigger one back then in 2013-14, before the 2015.
But Atiku was.
Why you stop talking about it?
Atiku was in APC.
Why did he leave PDP?
He left PDP because he felt that the Northerners have to get the power back to them, or Nigerians so believe that Buhari was a saint that time.
One man that has been against zoning to the south. Every time anything is to go to the south, it's always a problem.
No. I mean, but you saw what we eventually played that. So at the end of the day, Jonathan lost that election. But the issue is that even after losing that election, everybody that is in PDP ought to have think of how to mend fences, how to put their house in order. Unfortunately, the Equiremando's panel that was set up to look at why they lost that election at least came up with a report. What happened to that report? The truth again was not spoken. What happened to that report was that at least they missed it in the zoning. Okay, they also missed it that before this time there were some aggrieved governors. When PDP came up, some governors left.
Of course.
And even that was the time Tambuwa and all that.
Yes.
was speaker then, and all of them left.
Yeah.
So at that time, they should have looked at the umbrella was already having some cracks. How to quickly mend that umbrella. You see, it is better for you to offend one person as a candidate or whatever.
Sorry, I'd like you to hold your thoughts. We have a caller here. Let's take the call. Hello.
This is Eyinaya calling from Lagos.
Hello, please. I'd like you to speak up.
I said this is Eyinaya calling from Lagos.
All right, please go ahead, Eyinaya. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
I've been taking some of your calls and I've not been hearing you talking. What's happening?
I've been calling and nobody have been picking. That's I've been calling and it's not been.
No, they've been taking the call, but they get to tell us that they're not hearing what you're saying. But of course, you are here now. Welcome on board.
Okay.
Compliment of the season, my brother.
Same to you, my love. Same to you, my dear.
Go ahead,
now let's start with PDP. I look at PDP as an insincere party.
Okay.
First of all, they are insincere to themselves and they have failed to understand their mistakes. And since they have failed to understand their mistakes, they cannot get correction right. Now, I want to disagree with your presenter. Yes, APMO, Jonathan vied for the election. But if you remember very well, when Atiku left, Jonathan went to Atiku, said, please come back to PDP. Help me to win this election.
I was going there.
Please. And if Atiku, that's why Atiku will never be a president in Nigeria, because he's not an honest person, he's not a patriotic person. Now, Atiku, please come back to PDP. Help me to win this election. You understand? You do know what Atiku said? Atiku asked him to relinquish the presidency. To relinquish the presidency to him. You understand? Which was unheard of. A sitting president is not fair. Now, Jonathan lost the election. He felt he was doing Jonathan. He lost the election. Now, if Atiku had supported Jonathan, definitely it would have been the northern turn. Tell me, please look into the north and tell me who would have stood against Atiku. You understand? In the next election, as at Nigeria, nobody would have stood against us. It would have been a free ride for Atiku. But Atiku, being a short-sighted person, being a selfish person, being an unpatriotic person, being something ridiculous with the northern vote, with the southern vote, he never obliged. What kind of a selfish person? He took that is a disappointment.
All right, thank you so much,
Nigeria.
Ina, for that particular wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please don't forget, when next you're calling, can you hear me? All right, so but of course I know you can listen. Well, please, when next you're calling in. Just be mindful of some of your words there. Some words are not TV friendly, okay? Of course, we know what that means. All right, back to you. You know, I was going to mention some of this particular conversation. Not only did Jonathan reach out to Atiku, to support him. Don't forget that particular thing, the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, also did by tearing his membership card to say he's no longer...
Before then.
Yeah. That particular one also is a conversation that we're not ready to discuss. So, officially, so many of the elder statesmen were ready to kill the party PDP. So, whatsoever Wike is doing now, whatsoever Wike has done, is not strong enough. I love the fact that you mentioned that for governors to be leaving PDP, moving to APC, how many governors have we counted? It shows that PDP was actually in the seat of power for years.
Yes. And it was
even when opposition parties took over the last 8 years, they were still in power. They were still maintaining so many positions.
Like the whole of Sarsat was actually known for PDP.
You know what that means? They still had places in the north.
I thank God that the scholar said the PDP was not sincere to themselves, which I also said, leadership of the PDP. Let me tell you, that's where we talk of leadership of a political party. The leaders of a political party must be more than the candidates or whoever the aspirant. When Jonathan went to Atiku, and Atiku did not oblige, what was the move of the leadership of the party? The leadership of the party have all do you know the era of Adeleke Akinloye as the chairman of MPN? You dare not say what you are not supposed to say. Or the time of UPN under Chief Awolowo.
Yeah.
These are people who will tell you this is what we need. All that time, it is not as if that an aspirant should be the one dictating for the party. That's the area I'm coming to Savior. An aspirant is only somebody who is coming to use the party to propel his political ambition. So you are not the one that will dictate for the party. If the party says this is what the person we want, and they've done their calculation that this person can give us victory, no matter how big the aspirant, whether it's in the north or in the south, will be jettisoned. Let the parties has its own way. But unfortunately, what we are seeing these days is that one person goes into a political party and hijack the mercenaries of the party and not turn it to himself. So that's what is going to kill all the parties we have in Nigeria. Forget about PDP. PDP may go through this, and after all this turbulence, if PDP the leadership come back and be sincere to themselves, they may start from somewhere again. It may not be 2027. Let's take them out of 2027. But the biggest question now is, which party are we looking onto in 2027? Apart from the APC that we have been seeing, everybody is crossing into APC. Which other party are we looking onto? That's why Nigerians should not even support that every other other opposition party to completely go down the drain. Nigerians should be able to actually...
Mr. Service.
Yes.
Is it the fault of Nigerians? What can Nigerians do when elderly men are actually, they've reduced themselves to acting like children in the public? Did you actually watch the video of governors, sitting governors, either Bauchi or Oyo State, elder statesmen at the PDP secretariat? Did you see how they were kicking themselves? To chief executive officer of states being tear gassed by police.
The tear gas that is coming.
These men are not willing to actually share their sword, swallow their pride, to settle. Instead, they reduce themselves to indulge themselves in such frivolities.
No, the era of settlement, as in bringing in Wike and others, has passed.
It has passed.
They have made overture to Wike, which Wike keep giving conditions. That's where I'm talking about, Savior. Why will one person be giving condition to a political party that made you? You don't do that. Political party made you. They gave you a platform for you to excel. Now you have got it to that level that you are not giving conditions. Why will you be giving conditions? If so every other person must dance to your tune. He said Atiku did not pick Wike as his running mate. Yes.
Before the running mate, see, Mr. Elvis, I want us to look at this, practically now. You were to be given something in the office, or you were to give your first son, something, and you decided to give your first daughter instead of your first son. Of course, you know that he will be unhappy because he expected it to come to him. I'm talking about the zoning to the south, which was the initial agreement of the PDP governors and, of course, the National Working Committee. First, they said, let it come to the south, either to the south or the southeast.
No,
generally. Let it come to the south. That was the agreement. How did Okowa, of former governor of Delta State, how did Diridoye of Bayelsa went into a closed-door meeting with some other people? They had meeting. Nobody knew what Atiku discussed with them. And all of a sudden, you people came back and said, oh, we are throwing it open to anybody that wants to contest. Now they are turning the world to say, oh, it was because they said it has to go to the east and it is Peter Obi. That's why Wike said, no, it has to be open. No, they threw it open. They made it open. Otherwise, Atiku should have acted as an elder statesman, not even bothering himself to say that he's collecting that ticket. Okay, now you know that you've actually offended someone. You have an aggrieved person in your midst. You know his level of capacity in that party. After Tambuwa did what he did, at the primaries in Abuja. Now you are now the presidential, candidate. What took you so long for picking Wike? Guess what? Don't forget that Atiku played a mind game. If you remember, I was in Abuja in that particular period, and Atiku visited Wike. Did you remember,
yes,
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Let me tell you. He
visited Wike. Why would you do that to lead someone on? Instead, you went ahead to pick Ukowa because you had disagreements.
No, listen. Wike was so much of Wike stood on the ground that zoning ought to come to the south.
But after they settled.
No, listen, and he lost that primaries.
Okay.
He lost that primaries as a result of Tambuwa's merging.
Yeah.
Okay. If Wike is sincere to himself, you said it must be south. And that is, and you lost the primary. A northern person picked it. Why was he seeking the position of a running mate? Because the same northern person whom he was.
Because that was what they put on the table for him to actually console him.
Let me tell you.
This were the things they had. Wike said all of this outside.
This were the problem. Wike ought not to even concede to that level. One, the political party themselves, the leadership of the political party, the leadership of the PDP ought not to. They should have stood their ground and said, no, this is our arrangement. Go to the north, 8 years after the north, you go to the south. No matter the manipulation of Tambuwa and Atiku, PDP should have buy into it. They should have buy into it. That was where the problem began with PDP. The PDP leadership would have stood their ground. Even if they lost that election, they would have lost the election on a credible ground that it is because we adhere to our own zonist formula, which we all agree to, the leadership of the PDP and the founding fathers. That's why we lost the election. They would have had a say. That's number one for the leaders. That's why I keep saying the leadership of PDP brought them to this level we are. Yeah. Then for Wike, who was actually against the candidature of Atiku, now wanting a deputy, an assistant, vice president to Atiku, that's not leadership. He has not played the role of a leadership politician in that manner. He should have also stand his ground that, I lost these primaries because there was a conspiracy between Tambuwa and Atiku. That's why I lost this election, and I'm glad because the conspiracy actually led to the PDP jettisoning their own agreement. Yes. So Wike would have been standing a bigger ground. I would have loved that, and I would have respected him. But for Wike to be making phone call, we saw the nominal, you're saying he made phone calls severally because he now became so interested in vice president. The same person who is against why a northern person should become the candidate. Now he now began to make phone call. How far? Have you spoken to Oga? How far? So what is Oga saying? He saw that.
But they came to him first.
I mean, this is politics. This is politics. Let me tell you. We saw when Tinubu was going to contest. He went to Ota to go and see Baba Obasanjo on Ota. Politicians will always do that.
Of course. He
went to Jonathan. They are not in the same political.
They call it consultation.
This consultation. Yeah. So even you, Savior, if we want to contest election, we have every Wednesday we always have attack on this studio when I'm with you. I don't think if you become presidential candidate, you want me to be your vice. You may not want it. Every presidential candidate wants a vice that will be loyal to him. Wike won't be loyal to him. So he went for somebody he believes. After all, he still picked his
someone from the south,
running mate from South. Forget about it that they lost the election. Losing the election is
so. If I may ask you, Mr. Elvis, are you in support of this zoning system in Nigeria, or you just?
I'm not in support of it, but the level of our political maturity, Savior, we just need something like that to calm the situation. We'll still get to a level where we're talking of meritocracy, the best from any part of Nigeria. In 1993 election, when during the time of SDP, where we have MK Abiola and King Gibe, nobody was talking about, oh, let it go to the south, let it go to the north. You understand? Even that election was mostly ticket. Nobody was talking about it. We saw the two candidates that, no, this work will move Nigeria forward. Nigerian voted. You understand? But the level we are now, where nepotism is playing a big role in our politics. You discover that any president that comes in now, he picks all his father, his younger brother, younger sister, cousin, uncle, nephew, and put them in Aso Rock. Those are the best persons in Nigeria. We have seen that's what is playing out now. As it is now, let this kind of system begin to. We'll get into that maturity where we say, no, we don't need this. I think we have gone past this. We've gone past this. Everybody will now be why don't you pick such person? Whether it's from the north or from the south. The political awareness, this advocacy has to continue. We have to begin to talk to people who are behind us, who will be interested in politics. Come, let's not play the politics that we played. This is our own era. And this era, this politician has spoiled it for us. Honestly, they spoiled it. Because it is an era that we don't encourage, the best any longer. We now bring in mediocres because he's close to you. He knows the president or he knows somebody who is in power, who is able to connect them. But as it is, let us still be doing this way. You know, it's not a constitutional thing. Yeah. It's not an arrangement. Yeah. Just an arrangement, just to coil down the polity, you know, the harshness of the polity, so that everybody can feel belong. If it goes to the north, let the north pack in their people. It comes to the south, let the south pack in their people. So anybody that is even saying now, Tinubu has populated Aso Rock with Lagos boys, forget about it. Buhari did it. It's none of an issue. But let us begin to move the country forward. But I know with time, all these things will also fizzle out. We'll now begin to talk of whether it is not that stays there for 12 years. It's not an issue. Whether it's sad that stays there for 12 years, provided that the bidding of Nigerians is done.
Okay. Mr. Elvis, I love the fact that we've actually, touched every major areas as regards to this conversation, that of the PDP. PDP is really going through so much, of course, we know that. But let's talk about the two wonderful guys that actually stepped out. One went this way, the other one went this route. It's just like you're like leaving this office and one goes there, one goes there.
Exactly.
But it's okay. So, what is your take as regards to PDP's situation? First, what steps should PDP take to mitigate the damage caused by the defection and rebuild its credibility?
The damage is much as it is now because we are seeing more governors leaving. Let me even tell you, whether governor leaves or not, it's not even an issue. If PDP was actually able to settle their home today, the governors have only one vote. The governor, forget about it, Obi never had any governor when he has how many million votes? 6 million votes last time when in the election. Yeah. Never had even a councillor. Never had a councillor. So the next 2027 general election, if we have a formidable political party that Nigerians can rally around, it's going to be between Nigerians and APC, not a political party. So as it is, I'm not worried about governors are leaving. I'm not really worried. I'm only worried that when the governors eventually leaves and there is no that credible opposition that Nigeria can say, okay, we want to stand behind this opposition and fight APC. That's only my worry. So I love the fact that Governor Adeleke moved to Accord Party, let us begin to test ground. We tested ground in 2023. Labour Party threw up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's not even look at the so-called ADC, because what happened in PDP will still happen in ADC. We're going to see more when it comes to sharing of power, when it comes to start picking tickets.
You know, they already sent a message to Peter Obi. They told him that if the only option that is given to them, you know, is that they should declare their zoning, you know, how the zoning would be for ADC, that they have not gotten there yet.
Yes.
They don't have it on their table.
Yes.
That they are trying to, you know, stabilize the party and all of that. You know, that Obi should just relax. If he cannot declare now.
Yes, that's where we are going to have issues, because look at it, Savior. Governor Adeleke has gone to Accord Party. Why don't some people also build Accord Party? You can also build it. We saw Ojus Okalu sometimes in Abia State. He built PPA.
Yeah.
You understand? Where is those ones? Why do we allow political party to come up and die? And at the end of the day, everybody is going one way. Let's also build some other parties that have whether name or no name. And you see, if one credible person goes into a political party today in Nigeria, and Nigerians believe in that person, Nigeria will throw the lie and forget about others. That's the only way I'm looking at. I just love the courage of the Governor Adeleke for going to Accord Party. He never went to APC. Then we saw Tinubu alone built AC that came to ACN before the man merged to APC. Why would somebody else do such thing? Tinubu built ACN that merged with APC to form a CPC to form APC. Now, if the political dynasty of Governor Adeleke and his family can fester so well in Osun State and also be able to build Accord, you know, Accord has been a political party that between Oyo, even the present governor for your state contested another Accord before under when the now Olubadan was the one of
so I was told that
yes,
the Olubadan
and Ladoja. So
yes.
they even have some legislators. Let somebody also pick up a political party and nurture it. It may not just be at that national level. Everybody is looking at presidency. If you have a political party that is ruling a state today, for instance, from councillor to chairmanship of a local government, chairman of local government, and even the state executive, that's State House of Assembly, and the governor, that state can be doing well on its own. And if the people see what that governor or that political party is doing well in that state, it can spread to other parties. Say, go and look at what Accord is doing.
Just like Alex Oti is doing.
Yes, go and look at what Accord is doing in Osun. So we need more of that. Not this, let me tell you, this hula baloo, this fantasy of everybody going to APC, it will soon crumble. It will not continue. By the time we get to 2027, when we will start picking tickets, when we start talking of aspirants coming into political party, you will see what will happen to APC.
Yes, so I was about going there. That what's going to happen to all of these APC's gains?
It is only one man that is directing the shots in APC. I'm telling you.
Do you think Fubara is safe by joining APC?
No, I mean, it's not safe. He's just looking for where to manage up this 2 years that is left. I'm not sure he's going to get the ticket back. But it was a miscalculation on this. So for me, if Fubara should have aligned with the people and not the party, he should align, because the people gave him a lot of support. PDP was not with him when he had that crisis. Yes, I understand. Even if PDP say it's pitiful, forget about it. PDP was never with him. But the Rivers people were with Fubara all throughout that period. So for me, if I were Fubara, I would have loved to stay by the people, my own people, not even for 2027 general election. He can decide to come back again in the future. He's still a young man. He can decide to come. Forget about it. Let him just sacrifice this. Let them have this. He may come back in another party. Say, no, during his time, he did so well. Let us give him time. We saw this late Abubakar, that was Kogi State. You know, he ran under in 1993 as governor of Kogi. You know, that truncated election, that 1993. But he came back that day and he won election again before he died. You know, before he was not sworn in before he died, because he has built a political platform that people could believe in him. That's what I was expecting. He can just ease himself out. He can ease himself out after this 2027 and say, okay, I've done my best, but I'm still with the people. His popularity will remain with people. Not going to APC. He's just like, oh no, we already know. He actually like betrayed all the people that were with him.
Some people were saying, for rounding off now, some people were actually saying that maybe this was the reason why the First Lady had issues with with Governor Adeleke, because
But
they already knew that he was going to move.
Where that issue he had with Adeleke is even making Adeleke to be much more popular. Yes, because the First Lady, I mean, to me, that's her office. The office of the First Lady is not constitutionally recognized. It's just that the president just imposed it on us. So for a First Lady to walk out and go and accusing a sitting governor, an executive governor elected by the people, the chief executive of the state. No. I think she went. She actually brought down the
all right, so
of that.
Finally, for your final thoughts as we leave now. Do you think the APC will be able to consolidate its power, in the region gained from the PDP? And what challenges might it face?
The challenges is that as the governors are going in, APC will want to retain the governors because they want to retain the state. But APC cannot retain all the other political structures along with the governor, especially House of Assembly.
Because you remember Taraba?
Yes.
Taraba, the whole member.
Yes. House of Assembly. There are some people now, because their law is that as soon as the governor comes, he becomes the leader. Nobody is querying that. But there have been people who have been holding this party before the governor just came here accidentally and became the leader. And these people that have been holding the party have also political followers who are also interested in one or two positions. How, by the time they start doing calculation on how to settle everybody, okay, you came in, Savior, with your group as the governor. I have been there. I have my boys who have been supporting me all this while. And I promised someone then that I'm going to get ticket for House of Assembly. You're going to get ticket for chairmanship of local government and all that. Then by the time you came in, you are coming in with all your supporters now. Hijack my own. It will not go down too well. That's where I'm going to see some cracks coming into APC as we get closer to 2027.
Okay. Just as Mr. Elvis has actually mentioned, he said in the coming days, the APC would also have some cracks because they might not be able to actually consolidate the power they've actually gained as regards to taking off from different political parties. This is that particular word that I'm going to leave you with, just like what Mr. Elvis has actually said. But of course, this is politics. This is Nigeria. So much would still unfold. We know that the Plateau State man is still warming up. Is warming up somewhere there, and more to warm up, regardless. But let's see what will happen in the coming days. Don't forget that the views and opinion expressed by our analysts are solely their own and do not reflect that of VOP Media. If you love the world of sport, I'd like you to stay put to enjoy our locker room, as they'll be giving you more updates as regards to sports. Don't give up because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough will do last. Whatsoever you face will soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. My name remains Savior Udo. Have a good evening rest.
My name is Tao Familoni, and here is to view PTV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arara, my name is Made